Coral and the Lost Pearl by Ryan Reeds. Deep beneath the sparkling blue ocean lived a young clownfish named Coral. Coral loved exploring. While most fish stayed close to home, Coral was always searching for hidden caves, colorful reefs, and underwater treasures. Just 2 nights earlier, a powerful storm had swept across the ocean. Huge waves crashed above the reef. Strong currents swirled through the water. Even the oldest sea creatures said it was one of the biggest storms they had ever seen. Now the storm had passed, and life seemed normal again. Or so everyone thought. One morning, the entire reef woke to terrible news. The great ocean pearl was missing. The pearl rested inside a giant clam at the center of the reef. It wasn't just beautiful, it glowed softly at night and helped guide sea creatures safely through the darkness. Now it was gone. Every fish in the reef gathered around the empty clam. "Who would take it?" asked a seahorse. "What if it's gone forever?" worried a pufferfish. Coral stared at the empty shell. Something felt strange. Then she noticed a trail of shiny silver scales leading away from the clam. "Look!" Coral shouted. The crowd gasped. The scales disappeared into a nearby canyon. Just then, a cheerful sea turtle named Tully swam beside her. "You found a clue!" Before Coral could answer, an octopus floated down from above. His name was Inky, and he was known for solving puzzles. "The scales definitely came from someone," Inky said thoughtfully. Coral nodded. "Then let's find out who." The 3 friends followed the trail into the canyon. The deeper they traveled, the darker the water became. Soon, they discovered something wedged between 2 rocks. A piece of a treasure map. At the top were the words, "Follow the currents to find what was lost." Coral's eyes widened. The missing pearl, a mysterious trail, and now a treasure map. This was going to be the greatest adventure of her life. And somewhere deep in the ocean, the answer was waiting. Coral, Tully, and Inky followed the map through twisting coral tunnels and glowing underwater caves. Eventually, they reached a place called the Crystal Current. Streams of sparkling water rushed through the reef like underwater rivers. As they searched for the next clue, a giant shadow passed overhead. The friends looked up. A massive silver fish swam above them. Its scales shimmered exactly like the scales they had found near the pearl. "There it is!" Coral shouted. The fish disappeared into a cave. The 3 friends hurried after it. Inside, they found something surprising. The silver fish wasn't stealing treasure. It was crying. "My name is Luna," the fish explained. "I didn't take the pearl." Coral showed her the silver scales. Luna nodded sadly. "I know. I lost those scales while carrying something." "What were you carrying?" asked Inky. Luna pointed deeper into the cave. There, trapped beneath fallen rocks, was a baby dolphin. "The rocks collapsed during the storm," Luna explained. "I've been trying to help him." She glanced toward the cave entrance. The storm currents were incredibly strong that night. They carried all sorts of things across the reef. The baby dolphin looked frightened. Without hesitation, Coral and her friends began moving rocks. Tully pushed with his strong flippers. Inky used all 8 arms. Coral squeezed through tiny spaces. Finally, the last rock rolled away. The baby dolphin swam free. "Thank you!" he cried. Just then, the cave began to shake. A hidden chamber opened nearby. Inside, something glowed. Something round. Something beautiful. The great ocean pearl. But how had it gotten there? The friends carefully swam into the hidden chamber. There, resting on a bed of glowing shells, was the great ocean pearl. It wasn't stolen, Inky realized. It was washed away during the storm. The pearl had rolled into a powerful current and been carried deep into the cave. Suddenly, everything made sense. The storm, the map's message about following the currents, the pearl's disappearance, and Luna's clue about how strong the currents had been that night. Luna smiled. So, nobody took it. Coral laughed. We spent all this time chasing a mystery. But we found something better, said Tully. The baby dolphin nodded. Friends. Together, they carefully carried the pearl back to the reef. When they arrived, every sea creature gathered around. The pearl is back, cheered the crowd. The giant clam opened its shell, and Coral gently placed the great ocean pearl inside. Instantly, a warm glow spread across the reef. The colorful coral sparkled. The seaweed swayed in the shining light. Schools of fish danced through the water. Everyone cheered louder than ever. The mayor of the reef, an old angelfish named Marina, swam forward. Who found the pearl? She asked. Every fin pointed toward Coral, Tully, Inky, and Luna. The four friends looked at one another and smiled. Marina nodded proudly. You didn't just bring back the pearl. You helped someone in need and worked together when things became difficult. The baby dolphin swam forward. If they hadn't stopped to help me, I'd still be trapped in that cave. Marina smiled. That means the greatest treasure wasn't the pearl at all. Coral tilted her head. It wasn't? Marina shook her head. The greatest treasure is kindness. That evening, the reef held a celebration. As the great ocean pearl illuminated the ocean once more, Coral looked around at her friends. What had started as a search for a missing pearl had become something much bigger. An adventure, a friendship, and a lesson she would never forget. Sometimes the most valuable treasures aren't the ones you find. They're the friends you make along the way. The end.